Ni heshima kubwa sana kuniita hapa nikuwe mgeni wa heshima kwa ajili ya hafla ya kufungua hii sako ya wakulima wa avocado. Mara ya mwisho nilikuwa hapa Githunguri, sitawahi sahau. Ilikuwa tarehe 2 mwezi wa pili mwaka wa 2018. Serikali iliyokuwepo ilikuwa imeshika Miguna wamemweka kwa hii police station yenu hapa. Sasa mimi ni wakili kama vile babu sasa ni wakili. Nimekuja na court order kutoka Nairobi ati ya kuja kutoa Miguna kwa sale hapa. Vijana wa Githunguri walisikia Sifuna ako hapa. Wakakuja wakazingira hii police station yenu. Wakawasha moto hapo nje wakasema huyu Sifuna tunasikianga leo tunataka kudeal na yeye. Mheshimiwa wa Mchomba, nilihepa Githunguri nikitumia fence ya hiyo police station huko. Lakini ndio ujue Mwenyezi Mungu ni mkuu. Leo narudi hapa nikiwa chief guest. Na mimi sitawasalimia na Kikuyu. Nimeambiwa kuna jamaa alikuwa anazunguka huku, alikuwa anaongea Kikuyu yote ile anajua. Na nasikia siku hizi mnaogopa watu wakiwasalimia kwa Kikuyu kwa sababu mko na hiyo trauma ya kitambo. Mtafikiria pia mimi ni mkora nimekuja kuwadanganya. Kwa hivyo mimi nawasalimia tu kwa jina la Yesu Kristo, hamjambo. Mimi ndio Sifuna, katibu mkuu wa chama cha ODM, senator wa Nairobi na naibu wa kiranja wa walio wachache pale kwenye Senate. Nashukuru sana Mheshimiwa Gathoni kwa kutualika hapa tuweze kuona jinsi ambavyo unaendesha mambo yako hapa. Sisi ni Waluya, kule kwetu ni Western, huwa tunasema lazima utembee. Kama kiongozi lazima ujue vile watu wengine wanaishi. Kama hujawahi kula chakula ya mwanamke mwingine, unafikiria mama yako ndio cook number 1. Kama hujawahi toka kwenu, haujui vile watu wengine wanaishi. Sisi leo tumekuja kujifunza. Huko Western hatujafika kiwango cha kukuza avocado jinsi ambavyo nyinyi mmefika. Na nilivyokuwa nakuja hapa niliwaambia waheshimiwa ambao wako hapa. Gathoni alitutumia zile vitu ambazo hii sako ambayo tunaanza leo inahitaji. Akasema kuna ofisi ambayo mnafungua, mnahitaji kuweka furnishing pale ndani. Akasema hii recruitment ambayo mnafanya ya farmers inagharimu pesa, si ndio? Na akasema mnahitaji pia kununua PPEs. Tukaambia Gathoni, sisi sio matajiri, lakini tuko na marafiki. Tuko na marafiki kila mahali. Everywhere I go I tell people your network is your net worth. Hata kama hauna do lakini uko na rafiki unaweza pigia simu usiku na akuwekee kitu kwa M-Pesa ya kushika account. Vijana mnajua. Si wewe ni rafiki wa kweli? So nilikuwa naomba assistant wangu kwanza akuje hapa. Anaitwa Karen Mbugua. Karen Mbugua anatoka hapa Kiambu. Ulisema ni wapi? Ndumberi. Salimia watu kwa lugha ya nyumbani kwanza ndio wajue hata kwa ofisi ya Sifuna watu yao iko hapo, si ndio? Haya.
Muriaga rege.
Director, engineer Milai, accountant. Bana Milai, thank you so much. Am I leaving out somebody else? So we leave the university dons on their own because I want to hear from Kinoti today. Our country is in a messy situation. Na si ule messy mchapa kandanda. It's a very messy situation. I heard yesterday William Ruto akiwa Mombasa akisema that their economic model is working. I don't know how many of you saw that. When he bought a cow for 1 million shillings, and then he said the economic model is actually working. Now, how can it work when Kenyans who now live below the poverty line, and our brother Fred Matiang'i has been working at those levels of the World Bank and IFC, the Bretton Woods institutions, and somebody who cannot afford $1 per day is seen to live below the poverty line. $1 per day is today 128, 130 shillings. How many Kenyans today, clearly, yani tuambiane ukweli, ambao hawezi kabisa siku moja kupata shilingi 100 na 30. Ni wengi. So hiyo namba sasa imeteremka to levels that are not even describable. And yet tunaambiwa uchumi unafanya vizuri. Now let me tell you the truth. Kasongo's government is rated at just about 20%. I think I'm generous. I remember that 20%, Governor Vinya, because you said when I was co-chairing NADCO, right? Remember NADCO? Which they are now trying belatedly to do something about? That at least let us increase mgao wa serikali za counties kutoka 15 to 20. That is in our strong recommendation. But these guys are not even able to implement what they asked us to do. And they say the country is doing well. That actually is like living in a fool's paradise. And Kenyans are not foolish. Kwa hivyo, mimi nataka tujue kwamba wakati moja nilikuwa waziri wa elimu. My brother Matiang'i at some stage also became Minister for Education. There are several things we did in conformity with international statutes. At that time, we had a conference in Jomtien. That's a country, a place in Indonesia, when the world agreed to the concept of lifelong learning. So you really cannot stop going to school or learning. The Jomtien Declaration. And then at about that time, child rights were the issue, the main thing. So I had the privilege to outlaw, as Minister for Education, corporal punishment in all our schools. Well, I remembered also, as a Christian, the Bible tells me, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Now we have to do a balance. The balance is you do not have to use literally a cane to dismember a child, kumpiga kama mnyama wa porini na vitu kama hivyo. Even today, I'm sure there are some schools where corporal punishment is practiced differently. We did that. Just like we did start I actually appointed the first chief executive officer of the Higher Education Loans Board. And a lot of us in the leadership position actually went through that. We used to call it boom. During my time, it was 6,000 shillings or something. And it was useful. In addition, we used to have decent catering services at the university. CCU, Central Catering Unit. Today, even living standards in our public universities are in a pathetic situation. There's not much honor in being a university student. And yet I'm reminded by my brother Muturi when we are discussing. Those days when you qualify to go to university, I think Fred, you also mentioning, your name would appear in the newspapers. Mpaka villagers wanaona unabeba gazeti yako in Embu, they will go to buy from Kanyombora to buy in Embu na kwenda unaringa, angalia jina yangu kwa newspapers. Therefore, the dignity of being a university student today is absent. And quality higher education, zero. I must remind us that the right to education is a basic human right. It is one of those, Article 43, is it, Wakili Ndego, those rights, like the right not to sleep hungry. So, let us not play around with it. The only reason we're able to gather here today and feel stress-free is because of Constitution 2010. We saw William Ruto and Raila Odinga and a few others go to celebrate Katiba at 15 years. Oh, some of them said no to that Constitution. We know it. Said no. So because to have a spirit of constitutionalism, you really have to, it was Okoth Ogendo who taught a lot of us land law, for those of you who studied law, that you can have a constitution without constitutionalism. And that is lacking in this administration. What this team is trying to do is to say order, like Muturi will tell you. We have a constitution, our guiding document. And we are going in the next administration to make this country be honored worldwide. Because our Bill of Rights, for example, recognizes the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, imported, I think, via Clause 2 of the Constitution, right? Or Article 20 of the Constitution, that these are parts of our domestic law. Men, I can also teach law at the university. All right? Okay, so, but that is why we are here. Nobody can interfere with this thing. But we're also seeing intolerance. Yani wakisikia mtu anaita Gachagua, hawezi kulala. Kisikia Rigiji, kwanza kisema one term, wanapata na wazimu. Now all of us are saying one term, not just Gachagua. How many of you are saying one term? Yani you mean it? Sema one term. That's what it is. Kaongo. Gachagua is not here. By the way, we bring greetings of our other colleagues. We took the decision just the other day when we met at a half-day retreat to say we come, and very quickly my brother Muturi said you come. Our brother Mukisa said he was coming, although he's having a traveling spouse and himself also trying to go out of the country. And then our brother Fred was the first to say, I am coming. So I want you to know, please accept greetings, Rigiji. Munasipokea? Mukituona hapa, we are all together. When we have agreed, I think it is Mukisha, if I can paraphrase you. You said, first of all, you must have the team. The team. Right? And the team is building up strongly. So, mukiona tukikula pamoja na we are building this team. Because Fred was out there in the World Bank. We didn't have time with him. Somebody showing me something? Okay. And there's also, of course, Mother Karua, our sister Mother Karua. And Altuma pia salamu zake. Mother has been here. I'll tell you a true story. I was here with Mother Karua, I remember very closely, and George Wanaina of KANU, Secretary General, and believe it or not, Moses Kuria, tulikuwa hapa. Nikampatia kila mmoja mbuzi. So mkiona Moses Kuria mwambie nimemtumia salamu kutoka shamba. Na wache kufanya hivi. He is either with us or he is not with us. And who else have I left? Eugene Wamalo, kijana wa DAP Kenya. He is also with us. Natembea was not with us on Monday, but of course is part of the team. Kwa hivyo, this team is strong. You know, they pray every day kwamba tutawanyike. Natuambia, no, we know what those things that bring us together. Those ideas are solid ideas. And we know that if we do not hold together, we will have let down the Kenyan nation. And we can't afford it. Hatuwezi kabisa kamwe kufanya hayo. But again, I repeat, I just came today to listen to these dons, and we have heard. Actually, the country is here. That's a beautiful thing. Listen to a friend from Homa Bay. I can tell you that I spoke to Kenyans in the diaspora this last Sunday, virtually, from all over the world. They came and they spoke. A lady called Akinyi called from Canada, and she said she will be running on Wiper Patriotic Front for the seat of Rachuonyo. Was it Rachuonyo? I think it was Rachuonyo. Karachuonyo. It was Karachuonyo. Thank you. Karachuonyo. So I want you to know, even our friends from Luo Nyanza, if Baba is under the ballot, what reason do those people have to support Kasongo versus Kalonzo kwa mfano? Hamna kabisa. There's no way. Because the issue is Baba. Hata kama, I think it was Momanyo said, hata kama akisimama wote pamoja, it's even easier. It's a democracy. It's a democracy. Kwa hivyo sisi tumeamua kukaa pamoja. And on that note, allow me to call Mukisa akuje hapa kidogo aseme jambo, akifuata na ndugu yangu our brother, the Speaker, the Attorney General, who is also the chair of the People's Restorative Justice Commission. That is the body that is going to make sure this country lives under the rule of law, and there will be proper and just compensation for those of our young people, the Gen Zs and others who have suffered death, injury, dismemberment even of their own physical being, and torture to their families, and torture to the whole nation. we will address these issues to the highest level possible, including and not limited to the International Criminal Court. That is the responsibility of our brother J.B. Muturi. But this is Dr. Mukisa Kitui. Mukisa was the highest ranking. I don't think there's another Kenyan who has served at that level. The highest ranking international public servant. The Secretary General under the UN system. And you know Kenya is a UN headquarters country. After Geneva, New York, and I think Austria, Vienna, even Vienna. We are bigger than Vienna. And now these are growing bigger. There are things that tell this country what we've been able to do. Like when I was Minister for Foreign Affairs and our late brother Kofi Annan came and said before he left the airport, I've fulfilled what I promised, and that's how Nairobi became the UN headquarters. But Mukisa Kitui served the whole world from Kenya as a Secretary General of UNCTAD, United Nations Committee on Trade and Development. I don't think we have a bigger authority. And you people here, university dons included, we are really fortunate to have Mukisa. Come and say jam. And by the way, Mukisa, we have agreed, is our spokesperson for our togetherness. And we have seen a few people express displeasure. But let everybody, it's a democracy. We have made our choice. Well done, my brother.
Asante sana. Mheshimiwa Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, mwenyeji wetu. Waheshimiwa vinara wa serikali mbadala. Waheshimiwa wahadhiri, wakufunzi, watafiti na wasomi. Mheshimiwa Governor, waheshimiwa